Hello and welcome to FS Weekend 2024. I'm Callum from FS Elite and we are at the Aviodrome here in Lelystad in the Netherlands. So we're going to take you on a tour of everything that's going on inside. This is so far the biggest show that they've had, and there are plenty of exhibitors, there are software people here, there's plenty of hardware, and of course an amazing community of flight simmers all in here that are trying out brand new stuff for the first time. So let's go take a tour. So here we are inside Lelystad's Aviodrome Museum, and as you can see this year we are sponsoring the FS Elite Theatre, so we're going to go check that out in a moment, but we have a bunch of cool exhibitors that are going to be doing some talks with us later. So we've got Navigraph, X-Plane, Fly-by-Wire Simulations, MobiFlight and ProSim all happening today on Saturday, and then tomorrow we have the FS Elite panel where we're going to talk about Flight Sim in 2024. We're going to talk to Flight Sim Coach, we've got the OSM Aviation team as well, followed by Tolis, and then finally Fly-by-Wire. So it's going to be a really packed weekend in the theatre, but of course it's not just the theatre, we have all the exhibitors as well. So let's go check those out. So here we are in one of the first sections, so there are plenty of different areas within the Aviodrome where we've got exhibitors, but we're going to start here with VirtualFly. VirtualFly are known for their high quality handcrafted flight sim hardware, and they have a really cool setup here today, and obviously they're going to get loads of people trying it out, which is exactly what these shows are really good for. Perfect for having hands-on experience with plenty of the latest and greatest in flight simulation hardware. So we're going to move on over here now. We've got a section for Thrustmaster with their TCA products and also their Warthog. We've got a selection of other products on display as well, and yet again they have representation here of people trying out all of the latest hardware, and they can also see what it's going to be like for their own home cockpits and home simulators as well. It is a very busy space here, lots of people trying out all of the greatest stuff, but we're going to move on now over to what looks to be the Turtle Beach area. So Turtle Beach, again, they entered the hardware race very recently, actually in the last couple of years, with the Velocity 1. We've also got the One stick as well over on display, which is looking fantastic, nice RBG colouring. We've also got their brand new Flight 1 deck as well, which is the HOTAS system and setup, and also their rudder pedals as well running. And yet again, we've got people of all ages here trying out all of the latest hardware for flight simulation. As we move on over, we have Flight Sim Webshop. Now what we found with Lelystad's FS Weekend in general is that hardware is a really big selling point for these shows. So once you've tried it out, obviously you might then want to purchase it, and Flight Sim Webshop do a fantastic job at providing a plentiful range of different hardware for all sorts of experience. So whether you want a very basic joystick, or whether you want something a little bit more complex and complete, and they've even got consoles here such as the Xbox Series X, which is perfect for those who just want a very cheap way of getting involved with flight simulation. So we are going to move on round. Oh, we've got the Tobii Eye Tracker before we do move, actually, sorry. So the Tobii Eye Tracker is a fantastic tool if you want to use eye tracking to move your head and pan it around the camera. So it takes your eyes rather than having to move your entire head to move around the cockpit as well. So Jordan is just behind the scenes right now doing some filming, and he's capturing this footage for you guys, and he's going to try and break through the massive crowds here at the museum to try and follow me. There he is. So we're going to move on into the next section now. So in this section is a little bit busier, a bit more crowded, but there are loads of reasons why it's packed, and that is because the first thing as we come in here, we've got Fly-by-Wire simulations, the development team who have done the A32NX, the freeware mod for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which takes the original, the default Asobo aircraft and improves it. Very much known within the community for their outstanding work. Also on display, they also have the A380, which we know the community are very much longing to actually try and use. And as you can see, they're drawing in huge crowds to come and see the double-decker Airbus. So as Jordan battles his way through the crowds, we're going to move on over. We have SimMarket over here. SimMarket are one of the leaders in terms of selling digital goods and also hardware as well for flight simulation. They have a bunch of excuse me, they have a bunch of products on display here today, including stuff from Flight Control Replay. They've obviously got the Fly the Mad Dog from Leonardo Softhouse, and also a bunch of other merch as well, which many people are taking away. We came to these tables earlier and they were full of hats and bags, but now they are a little bit more limited in supply. And as we move around over here, we have X-Plane. So Laminar Research is here with their X-Plane 12 and their presence. And they are talking all things about X-Plane as well, and all of the upcoming features with X-Plane 12.1.0. And we do have a talk with Thompson later on this afternoon as well, so he's going to be doing a really cool job at explaining all the new features that will be coming to the sim. Now, as we turn the camera, we have, for the first time here, we have PMDG, represented by Matthias Koch, who recently moved from Aerosoft over to the company, and they are showing off the 777 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So just a few days ago, we did see the first reveal trailer, and obviously then had the Q&A session from Robert Randazzo, who gave us a little bit more insight. But this is the first time the aircraft has made a public appearance, and I think it's the first time ever anything that's not been released by PMDG has been made publicly available to try out. So we do have crowds of people literally crowding the entire TV area, wanting to get their hands on the long-haul twin-engine jet. And now we have next to PMDG, we have VATSIM. So VATSIM are the online network that do loads of controlling for the community. So if you're ever online and want to do online networking and for ATC, VATSIM is one of the core networks out there. So moving on around from VATSIM, we're just trying to battle our way through the crowds. This is really, really busy. This is the busiest that I've seen it. I came in 2019. Some of the guys came last year, but this is just wildly busy today. So we have Navigraph over here. Navigraph with their big display. Every show that they come to, they always go full on. They have big presence at all of these shows because they really want to engage with their community, show off their charts, show off their FMS data. And also there are some surveys as well, which is the community survey. So anyone who is here can actually just take part in that survey, and all of those responses will help go towards the results for in the future. Moving on round, we have GeoFS. GeoFS, if you watched our information from the Flight Sim Expo last year, GeoFS runs through a web browser, and in fact also on the table, what do we have here? Oh look, it's the FS Elite magazine that we printed out back in 2023. Yeah, for last year's show, and we featured GeoFS, and we had a wonderful interview with Xavier as well. And he's here behind us. Say hi to the camera for us. Excellent. So we're going to come back and talk to you later, but we're just doing a little tour of all the floor.
I'm there all the day and tomorrow as well, so please feel free to.
Perfect. Thank you very much. See you later. So we're going to move on round. We have Aerosoft Flight. Somewhere in amongst all of these people, we got Aerosoft Flight. They are showcasing mostly hardware, I think, today. As we said earlier, a lot of people come to these shows for the hardware component because this is a fantastic opportunity to try out all of this cool new tech that maybe you just don't want to necessarily splurge out and buy straight away. You want to have a little bit of time to try it yourself before you do spend the pretty pennies on all of that. And we have someone here, it looks like they're flying the PMDG 737 with the cockpit simulations MCP. Moving on around, we've got Flight Gear, Fly for Free. So this is one of, Flight Gear, that's a name from the past for me. So yeah, if you ever want to just try out flight simulation for free, you can literally download this and give it a whirl. Plenty of aircraft, 500 in fact, nice community, realistic weather, and also cross-platform as well. As we do move on round, we've got Flight Sim Coach as well. So if you do want to learn to fly remotely through a virtual instructor, then you can do just that. We've also got Elite, sorry, we're filming Elite, the Elite hardware, which is a fantastic set of different hardware that is probably a little bit more on the high-end stuff if you're looking for a little bit more realism in terms of the tension and the feel of your hardware as well. So that concludes this side of the hall. We're going to now just take a short break and we're going to wander over to the next side where there are plenty of more hardware for us to show you and discuss as well. Well, here we are in the FS Elite Theatre. At the moment there is no one here, but it's going to be packed later because we do have talks from some of the biggest industry people we have. So we've got Navigraph, as I said earlier, Fly-by-Wire, Tolis. We have X-Plane coming in as well. So we've got a range of different people who are going to be doing talks and presentations here, and it's all being live streamed as well, fingers crossed, hopefully. But yeah, this theatre is massive, it's gorgeous. Just do a quick panorama shot for us there, Jordan, whilst you're sat all the way at the top. There's at least 10 rows in front of me right now, and it's just phenomenal. And the guys are just doing some last-minute tech rehearsal stuff before we do some hosting later on. So yeah, let's go check out the rest of the experience. Okay, we are back. So we have seen kind of mostly the software stuff, but now we're going to enter this part of the museum, and there are plenty more pieces of hardware to show you. So let's go have a look. So as we walk in, just kind of like Flight Sim Expo back in Houston when we were in that museum, you walk in and you just are greeted by some incredible aircraft literally hanging above you. I mean, we've got the Fokker right here, and also a bunch of other amazing looking aircraft as well. But of course, what we're also here to see is the flight sim hardware as well. So we have a range of different things here. I mean, just this setup here, we've got Airbus displays, we've got Boeing displays, we've got a range of different things here that, again, people are just able to try, come and help themselves, speak to the manufacturers, find out exactly what it is that these products do, and then that way they can make an informed decision about whether they want to actually install these in their own homes, garages, apartments, wherever they can find some space, because some of this hardware is just absolutely massive. So we have some stuff here as well from Flight Illusion. These guys are always here at Flight Sim FS Weekend, always doing fantastic stuff, always contributing to the community that come here by giving them loads and loads of information as well. And then over here, again, even more hardware. We've got radio systems, we've got the Boeing MCP attached to a yoke as well. I think it's the honeycomb yoke by the looks of it. So again, you can see just maybe you've got a honeycomb yoke, and maybe you want a little bit more immersion with some of these products as well, and you want to just add them. So you can come here, try it out, and you can almost see exactly how it is. But then if you want something a little bit more advanced, then we have the 737 single seat, which is a replica of a 737 cockpit with working displays, levers, knobs, and their lever as well. I'm not going to touch it just in case someone is using it on the other side. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, just bump into people because it is just packed here today at the show. Let's walk on over to here. We've got the some virtual reality stuff going on over there on a massive display as well, so everyone can see what's going on. So these guys are based in Holland, so again, you know, very local, very easy for them to come here and show off their hardware for the community. And let's continue the tour. So here on the left we have Simple FCU. So Simple FCU do a bunch of they have a bunch of availability for you to get some cool Airbus looking stuff as well. Over here we've got another Airbus cockpit. Plenty of Airbus stuff here, plenty of Boeing stuff here. Obviously, some of the most popular aircraft variants out there. This is all from Home Sim. So as you can see, this space is really big, really massive, which is the perfect opportunity for people to actually set up all their hardware spaces as well. We're going to continue round. I believe here we've got a motion sim here from simprojects.nl. And again, these things draw in massive crowds. People just want to see what's going on, so maybe even get a go themselves. But this motion cockpit, you know, you can see the kid rocking around in there, experiencing that turbulence, and just giving him that sensation. Again, it's not something you can necessarily read about or experience in a video. It's not until you try it yourself you really understand exactly what the hardware is all about. Here we have Scholarchy. And again, they've bought their A3, I think it's the A320 hardware. And again, draws in massive crowds every time we see these guys at any trade show. And they do an amazing job at being able to offer people an opportunity to try out an A320 cockpit, and you'll be able to build your own with different components as well. Step inside an aircraft and give it a go. Amazing. So we're going to continue walking around here, and again, not only is the flight sim community here for their hardware, but obviously we've got some incredible aircraft as well that you can look at and learn about the historic presence as well. Here we have OSM Aviation Academy. So this is a local aviation school working with airlines such as Norwegian and Norse, and these guys, you know, if you are here into flight simulation, maybe your next step is a career within flight flying itself. So this is a fantastic opportunity to speak to flight instructors and schools and find out exactly what you need to do in order to become a pilot in the future. We've got Air Manager here as well with their displays. And if you're looking for something very retro, we have one of the original flight sims here on a very old CRT and a very chunky keyboard. So over here we've got Motion XP. So we saw Motion hardware earlier, and this again is even more high-tech stuff. It looks like it's on hydraulics. We've got a VR system set up and everything to really give an immersive experience when flying. And they've also got displays as well behind, enabling people to watch exactly what this person's going through. And we've got X-Plane loaded up in a fighter jet. So this is going to be very cool to watch and experience as well. And we just loop back round basically to the center of this area. The crowds are really, really busy here today. Everyone seems to be having a good time. We're going to speak to some community members shortly and see exactly what their experience here at FS Weekend is like.